In for the Night is a podcast that discusses movies, random topics, and gives you an excuse to just stay in for the night.
Is this the...
Hello, how's it going?
Is that the Winchester house? The one with the guns?
Yep.
Ghost house or whatever it's called?
Yeah. I felt like we needed to... Like, that's later. We don't have to talk about it right now because we're online.
I was looking at it.
So welcome. How's it going? My name's Katie.
My name's Lur Cakes.
Great. Another name.
You're welcome.
So, fun situation that's happening. Recently,
Excuse me.
One of my husband's exes has been calling him and his family relentlessly. This crazy bitch. And when I say
Day
crazy...
after Christmas.
Like, day after Christmas. And he thought it was just, like, spam whatever, but it's, like, not. And so it's her. I'm going to fix that. Okay. So she keeps on calling. And I'm just like, give up, honey. He's married.
I've already blocked her number.
It's to a point where it's just, like, really sad. And I hope she finds herself. But fuck, you're not going to find yourself with my husband, so get over it.
She should have found herself by now. I think it's a little late. I think she's just lost at sea.
Push her off. Fuck. Make her walk the plank.
She's
Anyway, so it's just really, like, but when I say calling insistently, like, it will be like 3 or 4 times over and over and over again. And then she'll call his uncle, who she should not be even contacting. And then she's calling his mom.
Change our numbers, I guess.
His mom, and then she, like, I didn't know that she was calling your mom until recently, right?
Well, I didn't know until just now. Tommy, my uncle, just told me, so. He's, like, been calling my mom and my brothers, apparently. But my brothers haven't told me anything. That might be why Frankie messaged me, like, no, he just said he wanted to know how I was doing. He didn't say anything about her, so I don't know if she's calling.
He might have answered, and she was like, "Oh, I was just making sure your brother's okay."
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, girl, if you are listening to this, I know you're not because you're psychotic, but fucking stop.
She's obviously not listening. She doesn't even know we have a podcast. So.
I don't know. She's crazy. Crazy bitch.
Pretty sure
when
she
I say
doesn't
crazy,
know.
I'm legit.
Actually,
she is crazy.
You know what? No, because I don't have her on Facebook. So yeah, no.
So like I don't like calling women crazy, but she crazy. She is.
I mean, she is crazy.
She
didn't
needs
tell
help.
me that in the beginning.
She needs help. She needs help.
I just didn't know the extent of it. Excuse me. So yeah, she is crazy, but you know.
C'est la vie. Anyway, so that's our week right now. I had a shitty week because work sucks and everybody's just not doing what they need to do, and I have to fucking clean up after everybody, but that's just me.
You're Mrs. Cleanup. Mrs. Cleanup.
I'm just like blinking. I don't even know. Like today was a shit. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday and you think, you get a weekend off. Like enjoy, sleep in. I slept in, yes. But, Ty made wonderful breakfast in bed. That was really nice.
Well, try to, but you yelled at me saying
I did not yell at you because I had my teeth, like my aligners
function and stuff, and I was like, fine, now your food's gonna be fucking cold.
Anyway, it was delicious. But then I went to the gym, and then on my way back, my boss Dom, everybody knows him. He was on the podcast on Deadpool episode, whatever. He was there. He called me. I feel so bad. But at the same rate, I only can laugh because a dude lost his license, so he can't fly. And so he had to drive to a location, which was very far away. So,
funsies.
Like 28 hours away from where he was. And so I'm just like, dude, it's your own goddamn fault. Don't lose your driver's license. Like
this is the 4th person who's lost their driver's license. Like,
so
what is happening?
It's to the point where I'm just like struggling with these guys, and I'm like,
y'all need to get different people.
Anyway, so this dude was, how my job is, you're supposed to finish a job at the site that was mentioned in the scope that was sent to us. You can't veer off of it. You can't go away unless you get approval from a manager. That didn't happen. This dude approved of going from Massachusetts to New Jersey, which is a 7-hour drive. And he called me and I was like, what? Okay, whatever. Just finish it out. Let's clear it out and then you can drive back because I need you at a different project by Monday. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, no problem. I can finish it today. Because the work should only take 15, 20 minutes. Not a lot of work. But that vehicle broke down in New Jersey. So he has to go to a different garage, which we're not okay to work in. So I'm just like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And so the project manager was trying to give me like shit saying, oh, it's fine. He can work there. And I'm like, are you sure? Bitch. Anyway, but long story short, today I found out he was on his way back to go to the next location and he got in a car accident because it's a blizzard in fucking Pennsylvania.
Jeez,
and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, okay, if you're not watching this, if you're not a Patreon, become a Patreon. I am holding my face in sadness. I kid you not, this kid totaled his truck against the rail, like the
guardrail.
Not the guardrail, it's like the cement thing.
Oh, cement wall.
But
highway wall.
And I'm just sitting here and my boss is calling me and he's like, we need to figure this out. I'm like, figure what out?
Yeah, why do y'all need to figure it out? He's the one who drove and got into a car wreck.
Well,
what are y'all supposed to do?
There's more to it, but it like Dom feels bad because he was kind of pushing him to continue driving, even though it was a blizzard. So he felt bad. But
that's not the smartest thing to do.
It's not. It's really not. I was like,
blizzard.
You could have waited an hour or two or gone a different route. But he was trying to go through Pennsylvania, which was like the whole state is covered in snow now. And I'm just like, that was stupid.
I won't even drive to work here if there's a blizzard.
Yeah, you've called off before. Like,
well, they usually give us a day. Like if you have comp time or whatever, that's why I want to save some of my comp time so I can do that. It's like if it does snow, then I can just be like, yeah, I'm not going in.
So today, like for a good 2 hours, I've been trying to figure out projects, scheduling, moving things, getting a hotel, then getting yelled at for getting a hotel in the area he told me to get it in. I like flipped a shit. I was over it, but that's my life. How's your life?
Well, my computer is making funny noises, so I'm trying to figure. My buddy messaged back, so I'm gonna see what he says, but I don't want my computer to like break down on me because I do play it for long times when I am on it. So
me love you long time.
Yeah, my poor computer.
It was making noise, but it's just like
it still is. Like I have a video of it. It's pretty fucking loud. Like it's.
I think it just gets overheated. Maybe if you put it point the fan to it.
It has 5 fans, and then it has a liquid cooler on it.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I need to figure out something on it because I don't want it to like not work on me. I mean, it still works fine, but it's. When I was playing a game earlier, it seemed like I don't know if that was part of the game or the computer, but it was like people's faces were like shaking when the camera, like the game camera.
Are you sure you weren't having a seizure?
I wasn't, no. Because it didn't happen like that every single time. It was only sometimes, so.
Oh, there's a puppy here. Take a shot.
I don't know what's happening. But anyway, yeah.
Well, those are our sad, depressing weeks. But on a lighter note, this week, I started something new. We talked about it last episode. Do you remember what it is?
No.
I am now a proud member of Feet Finder.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
No. No, I decided, hey, why not? Let's try it. So today I did a video with Jello. It was
Jello, which she was not prepared for.
I was not prepared for that. I just like, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's our lives. Let's get into the movie. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode so that we can talk about the crazy topic we have today.
And go eat.
And go eat. Starving. I'm hungry. Baby's hungry. All right. So, movie today is The Last Voyage of Demeter.
Oh, I get it because it sunk. Yeah, it makes sense.
No, it like crashed into the shore. Yeah, empty.
Well, I mean, can't reuse the boat, so.
I mean, you could.
It's damaged beyond repair.
Fix shit.
What are you gonna do? Put it on a boat, like fucking stand thing, and fix it? No,
yes.
They don't. That's back in 1867.
That's how they made boats. How do you think they made boats?
They're gonna have to bring that thing in pieces. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna do that. Might as well just rebuild one.
All right. So this movie you can watch on Amazon Prime. We had to rent it. You also can rent it on Vudu and Redbox. So if you have not watched it, definitely watch it on those platforms. This movie is a mix of pirates-ish, kind of a little bit. Not like pirates, but it's like shippy.
Well, it's a ship movie, so yeah, it's shippy.
So I always associate any ship with pirates.
But when you say pirates, people are going to think of Pirates of the Caribbean, and that's what I wanted to watch. Anywhere near the same thing.
I was thinking about making that my next movie, but I'm like, okay, that's so old and not. Everybody's seen that. So, but The Last Voyage is a ship movie and with Dracula, so it's just like a blend.
It's a vampire ship movie. How hard was that to say?
But the vampire is fucking creepy.
I mean, really. So what's the difference between a vampire and a Dracula? That's what I want to know.
Dracula is a vampire, but he's a different flavor of vampire. So we got Twilight, who's sparkly, but...
No, there's got to be a distinctive difference. Like, because there's vampires and there's Draculas.
Dracula was the first...
Dracula's longer? They're the first? Like,
yeah.
Oh, maybe Draculas are like, they have like... How you say, like the old vampire look. Like they don't look like humans. They look creature-like. Maybe that's what the difference is. I'm going to look it up. Continue.
Okay, so in this movie, overall, this movie was really interesting. It's a blend. I felt like the ship should have had more people on board, but I guess that would have been just food for fucking Dracula.
Well, yeah. I mean, he already had... He was rationing, as they say. Okay, so according to Google, I'm not sure what website. I guess this is Quora.com, Quora. Both are actually one and the same. Vampire is a mystical creature, while Dracula is a character in Bram Stoker's book, and he was a vampire. Vlad the Third. I like how they have fucking a picture of the guy from the originals. Vlad, known as Vlad the Impaler, was voivode or prince.
Yeah, he's a prince. Sorry, I had a work situation came up.
Between 1448 and his death, he was the second son of Vlad Dracul, who became the ruler of. So maybe I'll click on this one. Maybe this one might be better.
We're learning about Dracula, guys.
Who is a vampire and then who is a Dracula? Okay, so it's just talking about like the books.
So Dracula is a book. It's not like an act. Like they, what is it? Mary Shelley? No, that was Frankenstein. Who wrote Dracula?
I just said it. Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker. Thank you. I just blanked on that. I was working for 2 seconds. So Bram Stoker wrote Dracula as a vampire, but he mirrored that character on an actual person. So whether or not it's true, we are not really sure. But
so Dracula shouldn't even exist because it's a fucking vampire.
What?
Like. Dracula and vampires are the same.
It's the exact same. Yeah, so
Dracula
is his name.
Exists. It's a vampire.
No, Dracula
is a name.
Is his name Dracula? Oh, that's his name.
So it's not like a species. It's a name. So that one, okay, got it. So in that movie, it's Dracula's name.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I thought it was like a different type of vampire or something.
I'm really confused at what you're asking. And I was like, dude, like, it's his name. Like, it's a dude's name.
Why? Then you should have said that when I asked, what is the difference between a vampire and a Dracula? You're like, well, it's
Dracula is
like
a vampire.
A different type of creature or something.
I was like, they have different, like, levels of... my mind was like, why is he different than other vampires? That was what I was anticipating.
Because every time I associate a Dracula, they usually have wings. Vampires do not.
Vampires can have wings. That's a different flavor. I've never seen a
vampire with
That's
wings.
A different flavor.
They have super speed, but I've never seen them with wings.
So there's a lot of different movies / genres / whatever. You can either be sparkly like Edward or be creepy like fucking Nosferatu.
Okay, so what movie have you seen where vampires fly?
This one. In Dracula. And then
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think Dracula and vampires are different, because
they're not. They're the same. They're
in
vampires.
movies where Dracula's in there, they can either turn into bats and fly around, or they have wings and they fly around. But vampires do not do that in the movies that I've seen. I haven't read a lot of books.
In What We Do in the Shadows, they can turn into bats.
But are they called vampires or Draculas?
Dracula is a name of a person. It's his name. It's like Tyler.
I get it.
It's like if you were a vampire and your book was labeled Tyler.
I get it, babe. I'm just associating the name Dracula with movies, and in those movies, Dracula can fly or turns into bats.
It's just what type of brand you want.
But, okay, anyway.
So you understand now.
Dracula's I've been understanding. It just, whatever.
The movie, let's get back to the movie. Okay, so it's terrible, it's tragic, everybody dies. There we go. I'm just going to ruin the end for you, but except for one person. So who it is, that's up to you. But
well, it's not up to them. They just got to watch it and see.
I mean, it's up to you to watch the movie.
Because it's a twist. I'm not going to say what the twist is, but I'm just going to say it's a twist.
I'm just laughing at you because I know the twist and it's actually very good. But you can't really say anything about the movie without. We had a few questions. First and foremost, dirt. Dirt to vampires. In lore, you need to have your home dirt. Like wherever you were born and then made, you have to have the dirt with you or you die. Like you lose your life essence. And so in the movie, you see that he has a shit ton of dirt.
Well, all of the coffins are full of dirt.
All of his but there's a reason for it because dogs hit the table. Are you moving it?
I moved at that time. Y'all move. Go over there.
Take a shot. Take 2 shots. Of espresso or a cocktail, depending on when you want. When you're listening to this. So then, with that dirt. I don't know, like if has anybody seen What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, or the TV show and the movie? It's both. In one of the episodes, they lost all their dirt. And so Guillermo had to go get scoops of dirt from each country that they're from.
That's why I think in that TV show, they're representing as like the name Dracula, because no vampire show or movie have I seen today. I've never heard about this whole dirt thing. Like, it's not in Twilight. It's not in Originals. It's not in Vampire Diaries. It's not in the other vampire movies that I've seen. It's like
Twilight, babe. Like, you can't.
That's what I'm saying.
They're pandering to
Do you not understand what I'm talking about, though? Like, if you've seen like where the title of the movie is Vampire something, or I Met a Vampire, or just whatever, vampires in there, but then you see a movie where the title is Dracula, they're 2 different type of vampires. One of them has super speed, this and that and that and this, but they don't fly and they don't need dirt. But then the other one, like you just said, they need dirt and they can fly, they have wings. It's like, it's not that's what I'm saying. It's not the same thing.
I understand where you're coming from, but I think it's more so the writer's interpretation. So, Stephenie Meyer, who made Twilight, wanted sexy high schooler. I felt really dirty saying that. That bothered me a little bit. But, Bram Stoker, he was going for originality, also detailed of what actually a vampire is. So, that's where they're different. But the thing is, they're the same creature, but different species. Does that work? Because it's like, you know how you have kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species? It gets
so I think Dracula is like the head honcho, the dog, the original.
Like the OG. And then we have branches that kind of dictate what they can or cannot do.
He infected someone else.
And then they dirtied it by infecting somebody else. And then
now they're just vampires, but you still have
so we got big dog Edward down here, and then Dracula's up here, and he's like, bitch, what? I can fly.
Like, Is
that how we want to do this?
That's how it is.
Okay.
Like, to me, Dracula is just not a name. It is a type of species of vampire.
It's his name, but I can understand where you're coming from. He can be like the phylum. And then there's order, and then genus, and then species. The breakdown.
Sure.
The breakdown.
I don't remember all that, but sure.
Look at me remembering biology.
I took it like 20 years ago. I don't need to remember
Same.
it.
Oh my God. It hurts my heart how far away.
I am older than you, ma'am. There's no way you took it 20 years ago. Maybe 18.
I was 16.
Or 17 years ago for you.
I looked at my watch to tell me what my age is. 16. I was 16.
I was in
that
bottle of wine from you.
High school. I was doing.
To confiscate that.
Oh, you want more? Okay. So the movie.
So for the folks at home, Dracula is not a name. It is a big dog vampire, like the OG, the original, the.
Actually, I want to interject. The original vampire was Lilith. She was Adam.
I've always known Lilith to be like, isn't it like the devil's daughter or some shit?
No. So, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Then...
Heavens and the earth?
Yeah. God created everything, apparently. So, he created Adam and Lilith. Lilith was like... They were made from the dirt, so they were both equals. Adam didn't want to be equal with Lilith, so he was like, "Bitch, no." And so Lilith was outcast and turned into a vampire, and then God took a rib from Adam to make Eve. That's the story of Lilith, pretty much. She's a vampire, so she's like the first vampire.
Well, where is she now? She needs to be changing fucking people. That's what she needs to be doing.
Hey, girl, what's up?
If you're listening to this podcast, Lilith, we need your assistance.
Please and thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so we're segueing way off, and it's taking way longer than anticipated.
Your fault.
You're the one.
You just couldn't agree and be like, "Yeah, babe, whatever," and then continue. But you had to argue with me.
The struggle is real, folks. All right, so this movie definitely is worth a watch. My score. Oh, what's your score?
Oh man,
there's a lot of questions. 9? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give it an 8.
I would watch it again.
I would give it an 8. I would watch it again.
Like,
but
what questions? You answered all the questions.
The girl, not turning as fast as the others, but
you figured that out. It's because of transfusion. They even said it in the movie.
I know, but it was just I don't know.
I think he got her
just in time before she.
I think when he went on that boat, I think maybe she was in there with him and she fell. I think she
she was luggage. She was luggage for Dracula because she was she was his bloodletter.
So, yeah, but she had a bunch of bite marks on her. So I'm assuming because it looked like it was taking 12 to 28 or 12 to 24 hours, maybe even a little bit longer before they changed.
So he recently fed on her.
So he recently fed on her. And then by the time he found her, she was in the process of the change and he did the transfusions.
Yeah.
So it just slowed the process.
For sure. Okay. So 8, you have a 9. 8.5 is our average.
Or you give it a 9 because you don't have any questions. What other question is there? Now I can answer it for you.
I don't know. They should have had guns the entire time.
Babe, it's a wooden boat. If you shoot, you're going to put a hole in the boat. That's probably why they didn't have guns. If it was metal, that might be different.
All right. That's my score. I'm sticking to it.
No, you gave it a 9. That's cool. All right.
No.
So,
Fuck you.
9.
No.
Got it.
No.
9.
8.
9.
7.
9.
6.
9.
5.
9.
4.
9.
3.
9.
0.
9.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah, 2 9s.
So 4.5. Great.
2 9s.
So let's move on to our topic. Are you guys
2 9s.
buckled up for a bonker story?
Yeah.
If you do not know who John List is, you have been living under a rock. But that's okay because I'm really excited and the camera's not even on me.
I don't know who it is, so
I'm trying to make sure okay.
You don't need to see me.
You're pretty though.
No, I'm not.
Also, the main character of the Last Voyage of Demeter looks like Childish Gambino. So, hey, Childish, if you're listening to this, we would love to interview you about this movie that you weren't even in.
that your twin was in.
All right,
your
so
doppelganger.
So we are going to be talking about John List and his family. Okay. So sites that I use the New York Times, Wikipedia, forensictales.com, weirdnj.com, and allthat'sinteresting.com.
And whoopigoldberg.com.
And whoopigoldberg.com.
Wow, you can't even say it.
.com.
Yeah, I need to confiscate that wine.
Shut up. I'm fine. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah. No.
No.
Like work is texting me now, like all day.
Oh, stop answering. We're doing a podcast. Who gives a flying fuck cakes? Right arrow.
No.
Wow. In the middle of the podcast.
I know. Shit happens and I'm fucking over it. I'm so tired. Like, use your brain, just do it yourself. I don't understand why I have to help everybody.
Or you don't have to answer. You can answer after.
Anyway, okay, so we're going to talk about John List. So we're going to do a quick background of him. It's actually kind of in depth for him, and then we're going to get into his family a little bit. So, John Emil List. His middle name is Emil. That's so precious. Okay. Was born on September 17th of 1925. He was the only child of German Americans John Friedrich List and Alma Barba Florence List. I'm trying to give that, like, German accent.
Did a great job, babe.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Like his father, List was a devout Lutheran and a Sunday school teacher. List graduated from Bay City Central High School in 1943. That same year, he enlisted in the United States Army and served as a laboratory technician during World War II. List was discharged in 1946. He enrolled in the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, where he earned a bachelor's degree in business administration and master's degree in accounting. So he's smart. He's smart.
He's trying to get them bucks.
And you know nothing about this dude, right?
Never heard of him.
Okay, cool. It's even better. And was commissioned a second lieutenant through ROTC. So
is this like Ted Bundy's like alter ego or something?
No. Oh. So at Fort Eustis in Virginia, he met Helen Morris Taylor, the widow of an infantry officer killed in action in Korea, so the Korean War, who lived nearby with her daughter, Brenda. John and Helen married on December 1st of 1951 in Baltimore, Maryland, and the family moved to Northern California.
They were 26 years old. Well, he was 26.
He
was born in 1925.
Oh, you remember that. That's...
And 1951, so, you know.
Math.
So 26 years old.
You should, like, learn calculus.
I did calculus. I wasn't terrible at it.
List worked for an accounting firm in Detroit, and then, so he moved around. So he was in California, he had a job there, and then he moved to Detroit. Just, like, long story short, he was all over the place. And then as an audit supervisor at a paper company in Kalamazoo, where his 3 children were born. So he had 3 kids with Helen.
Jesus.
I hate Helen.
Hell spawns.
By 1959, List had risen to general supervisor of the company's accounting department. So he was rising in the ranks. He was doing all that shit. In 1960, his stepdaughter Brenda married and left the household, and List moved with the remainder of his family to Rochester, New York, to take a job at Xerox. So
isn't that the
Xerox thing?
The fucking the copy store?
Yeah, Xerox.
Yeah, like, what is the other one? Fuck, what is it called? They had like a copying. It wasn't like a mail place. It was. Damn, what was it?
Okay, think about it. We're gonna continue. There he
Kinko's.
Kinko's.
Like Kinko's.
Xerox is a company that makes copy machines, not necessarily a place to do copies.
Oh.
Kinko's is a place to do copies. Xerox is a thing that makes copy machines.
Got it.
So
Kinko's the manufacturer.
Kinko's can have a Xerox machine, but Xerox will not have a Kinko's.
I get it. I know. Yeah.
There he eventually became director of accounting services in 1965. List accepted a position as vice president and comptroller at a bank in New Jersey City. Oh, Jersey City. Sorry, not New Jersey City. And moved with his wife, children, and mother into Breeze Knoll, a 19-room Victorian mansion located at...
He's balling like that?
He became vice president of this fucking company, yeah. So
this is 1950s.
Yeah, 1965. So he moved into this mansion, 19-room Victorian mansion located at 431 Hillside Avenue in Westfield, New Jersey. So there's the address, guys.
A 19-bedroom mansion. That is huge.
That's stupid. List and family were the embodiment of the American dream in 1965. Read number one.
You read number one. I have 15 million pages here we're never going to get through. Let's get into the family that lived in the mansion. Helen Liss, the wife, 47-year-old, was a distant relative of John. Their marriage was a shotgun one.
Wait, stop. Distant relative of John. So she was actually related to John.
Who's John?
John List, the guy I just explained about.
Wait, so his wife, they're related?
Distantly.
That's gross.
Yep.
I mean, they're distant. It's all right.
It was like third cousins.
Their kids apparently came out normal, I'm assuming. So they're not first cousins.
Yeah.
Or first whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, depends on how hot she is, I guess.
She not hot. We will learn about that later.
I'm not saying her. I'm saying if it was me and my distant relative. Just depends on how hot she is, I guess. I'm just kidding.
There's like a place in, I don't There's like a place in Ireland that they have this app that tells you if you're related to them because it's so tight knit and close that they just, if you show up to a bar and you start hitting on somebody, you're like, oh, let's know if we're related. Oh shit, you're my cousin. Bye.
No bye. Fuck that. If it doesn't tell them second, third, fourth, or fifth,
it'll tell them if they're related at all. I don't.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
I have not used this
generation.
I have not used this application on my phone, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it'll tell them, "Hey, you are third cousins."
Oh, then that's fine. Fucking do it. Do it to it. Know what I'm saying?
Finish reading.
Oh, now I can finish reading? Yeah. Okay.
I had to stop you because you didn't pause in the most important part.
What do you mean?
When she was related.
I didn't know. I thought John was a different person.
John List is the main dude.
It didn't say John List. It just said John. So John could be anyone. Their marriage was a shotgun one caused by a pregnancy fear which turned out to be a false alarm. 3 young children, Patricia, Patty, 16-year-old, Frederick, 13-year-old, and John, 15. Damn, they had them back to back to back.
Yeah, that's really close.
And Alma. Oh, wow.
Who's the mom? Who's John List's mom?
Oh, okay.
Alma.
The mother, 84-year-old.
So they all lived in this house, happy as can be.
Happy as a pirate.
Are you ready to hear about the big secret?
No,
That's John's.
I'm not ready. I'm going to go take a nap. I'll be back.
Thanks for listening, guys. Have
Bye.
a nice night. Okay. The big secret that John was keeping.
You
want to guess?
He's semi-gay.
No.
Damn it.
Maybe. I don't know. That's not the big secret here.
Semi-serial killer.
Yes.
Really?
We'll talk about it. All right. So the big secret that John was keeping, in 1971, John List lost his job at the bank at age 46.
That's the secret.
Just wait. Subsequent jobs didn't pan out. He couldn't bear to tell his family about the loss of income. So...
Oh, yeah. They just got this 19-bedroom house.
Right. In 1965, for 6 years, they've been living in this house, and he's like, I don't know what to say. So he spent his days at the train station reading the newspaper and secretly skimming money from his mother's bank account to pay for the mortgage. So he's stealing money from his mom.
I wonder how much his mortgage is.
Probably $20 back in the day. Fuck. He refused to go on welfare as it would entail excruciating embarrassment. Jesus Christ. Okay. Entailing excruciating embarrassment in the community and violate the principles of self-sufficiency he learned by his father's knee. So he was like, I'm not going to go on welfare because fuck, I don't want to look like I'm poor in this neighborhood of rich people.
It's like, bro, you just got to like
don't
cut your
tell
losses
them.
and
Just
move
get,
out.
Just get welfare and then fucking don't tell them. I don't know why they would need to know. Dumb bitch. All right. So John was failing economically and could not stop his own plummet into lower tax brackets. The list had been living beyond their means already before John found his accounting job in peril. So they were already spending shit ton of money, and he's like, fuck. That's the situation. So we are going to start at the date of November 9th of 1971. Read number 2.
1971. That's a song. On November 9th, 1971, John put what was a carefully calculated plan into actiones. A few weeks before, he had ordered a family meeting where he cryptically asked them each what type of funeral they would want.
How do you want to die, bitch?
Wow, that's pretty fucked up. Anywho, in the days prior, he had mailed notes to friends, coworkers, and teachers of his various family members, offering up cover stories as to why they wouldn't be seen in the coming weeks.
Sorry, take a shot.
Fed them. You didn't want to, so now they're psychos.
They can wait. Continue.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
You continue.
So, are you ready? Are you buckled?
No.
You buckle?
Nope, go.
Buckle.
Nope, go.
All right, fine.
Dogs are not buckled, so I'm not buckled.
So the
I'm a dog.
morning of November 9th of 1971 began just like any other winter morning. John took the 3 children to school while Helen and Alma, Helen his wife, Alma his mom, remained in the Westfield house. So they stayed at the mansion. On the way back home from dropping off the children, John took 2 handguns out of his car and walked into his home. I'm waiting for a response. None from you.
And he shot himself.
He had a 9mm Steyr 1912 semi-automatic handgun and his father's Colt .22 caliber revolver.
What do you need 2 guns for? What the fuck? There's 3 people there.
2, but okay.
I mean, well, including himself. There's 3 people.
While his children were at school, when he returned around 9 a.m., Helen was in the kitchen having a breakfast of toast and coffee. When he entered the room, she said, "Good morning," and her husband shot her in the back of the head with a .22 caliber pistol. He ran up to the attic of the house where his 84-year-old mother, Alma, like that's where her living quarters were, like Judas, he said.
Wait, she was in the attic and they had a 19-bedroom house? Why the fuck was she in the attic?
I think it was more so like was the mother-in-law suite? Like it had its own shit and it was like an apartment for her to be separated from the house.
Separate. Oh.
So I'm assuming that's what it was. Whether it is or not, we will never know. So, so he said to her, like Judas, I gave her a kiss. He explained to 2020. After this final kiss, he shot her in the back of the head as well. Read number 3.
He went out, completed some chores like shopping the mall. That's weird.
Shopping at the mall.
Yeah, it should be at the mall, not shopping the mall.
Okay, continue.
And cashing in some bonds of his mother's. Yeah, that's not going to get you caught. He canceled all deliveries and contacted his children's schools to let their teachers know the family would be on vacation for a few weeks. When he got home, he sat down. I thought he was already. Oh no,
he was doing chores and then he came back home.
I got it. When he got home, he sat down and ate lunch. He didn't consider stopping the killing.
Stopping.
Oh, he didn't consider stopping the killing over this meal, however, as the World War II veteran later said, it's just like D-Day. There's no stopping after you start. Well, that's true. What is D-Day?
D-Day is like the end of World
War II. Like Judgment Day?
No, D-Day is the end of World War II when United States armies infiltrated... I forgot
Africa?
what... No, France, to stop Hitler.
I helped you. You didn't know.
Wrong fucking
You didn't know. Then as soon as I said that, you're like, Bill, France. Like,
no, I'm thinking because from England to France, there's like a bay that they attacked, and then they went out, and that's like the end of Hitler. Hitler died like after that recently. Anyway, long story short, yes. So he was in World War II. He kind of commented about.
When they were saying that Helen met the veteran. He's the veteran.
No, she was married to a guy who died in the war, and then he met her after.
Yeah, so what are they talking about war stuff? He's not a veteran.
Yes, he is. He was in World War II.
Did they say that?
I said that, yes.
Oh, I only remember that being about her ex-husband.
Either way, whatever.
Got it.
Later in the day, he picked up Patricia, his daughter, from school. They entered the house together, and without warning, John plugged her in the back of the head as well. He next executed his youngest son, 13-year-old Freddie. So same style, shot in the back of the head. Read number 4.
I'm reading here. Number 4. He then went to Westfield High School to watch his elder son, John Frederick, 15, play in a soccer game. After driving John Frederick home, List shot him repeatedly because a misfire evidence showed his son attempted to defend himself. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. There you go, son. Hell yeah.
I mean,
I wish he would have survived. But subsequently, after the first shot, John was not dead. He fell to the ground and involuntarily jerked around.
So he shot him in a way that made him seize.
Oh. Sir John stood over his son's writhing body and shot him in the heart over and over again with both the 22 and a 9mm he was carrying. Jeez Louise. Just went ham biscuits on this dude, on his son.
List placed the bodies of his wife and children on sleeping bags in the mansion's ballroom. So this fucking mansion had a ballroom. Pause for effect. In the shape of a T. So he had people lying in rows, and then there's like one crossed over. He left notes accompanying each body explaining why he killed them. He left his mother's body in the attic, explaining in the note that he left behind that his mother was too heavy to move. So fat shaming her while she's dead. Awesome.
I mean, he already murdered his family, so I mean, like, what's the worst you can do?
Other notes were addressed to his pastor, Reverend Winkle, an employer. He even included completed files he had been working on so as not to inconvenience his boss. So he finished his work even though he was fired.
Who finished his work while he was
John List, who was fired. That's the whole reason why this is happening. He finished his work for his boss that no longer employed him. Yeah,
and he thought it was like 6 months that he was fired.
I think it was not that long, actually.
I thought you said something earlier about 6 months.
One of the notes of explanation List left behind reflects on the actual act of killings. I'm sure some will ask, how could anyone do such a horrible thing? My answer is that it wasn't easy.
He said that? Jesus, it wasn't easy? He made it seem like it was easy.
I mean, he had to do what he had to do.
No, he didn't.
He made his way around the entire mansion, cutting his face out of every single one of the family photos. So, read number 5.
Dude's gone psycho.
Yeah, he did.
He slept in a mansion where his family lay dead, then walked out the door the next morning and wasn't seen again for 18 years. Wait, so he just murdered his family and then disappeared for 18 years and no one found this guy? Get the fuck out of here.
We're going to learn more about that. Just continue.
Get the hell out of here.
Take a shot.
Before leaving the mansion for the last time, he turned on every light and left music playing throughout the... You told me about this guy. I remember now.
No, finish what you were saying.
That was it.
He played music throughout the house. You didn't say that.
I said he played throughout the home. I said home, but I cut the ME off.
Okay. So, yeah. List left.
Wow.
All right. So
how did no one hear these gunshots?
He's in a like, and it's an estate, so it's like far away from people. I
guess, but I'm pretty sure you can still hear, unless their walls are soundproof. You should still be able to hear a gun. Well, it's a 22, which isn't
loud.
Not loud.
That's not that loud.
But I don't know, what was the other one again?
A 9mm.
That's loud.
Not as
mine's loud.
Kind of. All right, so we're going to move on to the discovery. List had covered his tracks well enough to delay the discovery of the bodies until December 7th. So almost a month after he killed everybody. Hey, stop. Take a shot. So November 9th was when he killed everybody. December 7th. I don't know what you want me to do.
Obviously. What else would I be pointing at?
He's pointing at shit and I don't know what he wants.
I'm trying not to interrupt you. You should have known what I was talking about. Continue,
so,
please.
List had covered his tracks well enough to delay the discovery of the bodies until December 7th. So almost a month after he killed them.
I mean, I give it. He's a pretty
smart
man,
Fuck,
I guess.
Yeah.
If he can hide them until like exactly a month later.
So one of Patricia's drama teachers, Mr. Ed Iliano, paid a visit to the house to check on the whereabouts of his missing student. So he was like, "Where's Patty?" And he showed up.
Shot in the back of the head.
He discovered the bodies lying on the floor in the ballroom with cloth over their faces while church music, which John had left on as he left the house, blared over the home's intercom. So this music
was playing for a month? So he had to put enough like music on. What are they playing?
Like radio. I think it was radio.
Oh, radio.
But the house had an intercom, and so he clicked on the intercom in the house. It was playing throughout the whole house. His emergency call to police told the whole story. "My God, you better send help out here," he shouted into the phone. "There's been a mass murder. There's bodies all over the place." Read number 6.
Number 7. Police immediately began a full-scale manhunt for List. Not only did the police have 5 bodies and the murder weapons, but a written confession from the killer in reference to each one. Unfortunately, List's trail was lost. They found his car in a parking lot at Kennedy Airport with various papers and identification inside. But police found no evidence that List had boarded a flight. Damn.
So he's smart. So the FBI later discovered List had traveled by train. You don't need fucking ID. You just buy a ticket. From New Jersey, first to Michigan, then to Colorado. He settled in Denver in early 1972 and took an accounting job under the name of Robert Peter, or Bob.
And changed his name. Look
Clark,
at him.
One of his college classmates. So
wow.
Yeah. Although the real Bob Clark later stated that he never met him.
Oh, so he
never met, like, John List.
Wait.
So John List
the college friend was not List's college friend. It was Bob Clark's college friend.
No. John List went to college with a guy named Bob Clark. Bob Clark actually never met him. Just John List knew of him. So he took his name. From 1979 to 1986. So 79 to 86. He was the comptroller at a paper box manufacturer outside of Denver. He joined a Lutheran congregation and ran a carpool for the church members without transport. So everybody who needed a ride, he would offer a ride to. At one religious gathering, he met Army PX clerk named Dolores Miller, and they were married in 1985. So he got a new wife. In February of 1988, the couple moved to a house in the Brander Mill neighborhood of Midlothian, Virginia, where List, still using the name Bob Clark, resumed work as an accountant at a small accounting firm. Madria Joner. Okay, there's a bunch of names. That's where he worked. I'm not even going to try that. Read number 7.
All right. List had planned the murders and escape perfectly, and he managed to disappear into thin air before anyone even knew of the horrific acts which he committed. 17 years after the crime, investigators still had nothing to go on in case but dead ends. Look at that man.
He pretty much got away with it.
It's something always well, not always, but it's usually something so small and like
no, we're gonna get into
dumb. I know.
We're gonna get into it right now.
Good.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Fuck no.
Nobody's ready. Okay.
Unbuckle.
Then on May, you were never buckled, bitch. You were on that roller coaster, riding around with your hands
caught
up.
on to that one. Look at you paying attention to details.
Then on May 21st of 1989, I was not yet 2.
1989, I was 4.
They took a shot in the dark at finding the murderer by resending. It's like sharing the story of John List on the popular television show America's Most Wanted.
Ooh, there we go. I remember that show.
Yeah. Okay. During its first, this was the first year of. You were on the show. Not a good thing, babe.
You like did not hear me for a second. You're like, wait.
the shock. I'm like, great guys.
I was a producer, babe. I didn't say I was like on it for like.
You were not a producer of.
I was the producer of that show.
Sure, whatever.
Wow.
Okay, so that was the first year of America's Most Wanted. So 1989, he was on that show. The program showed a reenactment of the murders, a photograph of John List from the day. Then the segment featured an age-progressed clay bust sculpted by forensic artist Frank Bender, which turned out to bear a close resemblance to List's actual fucking appearance. Now, if you look at pictures of him, it is fucking spot on. Like, they are the same person. Like, his bust looked exactly like List when he got caught.
So, like, their years later picture?
Yeah, but it's a bust.
What do you mean a bust?
What is it called? A paper mache sculpture of his, like, upper half.
Yeah.
His face. Let me show you a picture. Bust of John List.
You should always have these prepared.
I know. Okay, so we're going to show you this pic. You can't really see it. I will put it on Instagram so you can see it. But
that is pretty.
That is like fucking spot on.
Yeah, it's pretty damn spot on.
So we have John List with a bust. Which turned to be a bear clone. List, aka Robert P. Clark, so Bob, was attending a church function in Midlothian, Virginia. While he was there, several acquaintances of his were home dialing the hotline America's Most Wanted. He had set up to take leads phone, like, so America's Most Wanted has like the number, hey, if you know anything about this, call this number kind of thing.
I know America's Most Wanted.
I'm just saying in general for everybody. They recognized their quiet friend and neighbor as the same man who had brutally killed his family years before. So
that's crazy.
He moved to Denver, met this woman, got married, and like his neighbors and everybody knew him. And he was like, he's so quiet and like reserved. Like, we don't think he would kill his family, but he fucking did.
He 100% did.
List continued to stand by his alias for several months. So even after he got like arrested, he was like, I'm Bob.
He's
like,
gotta stand by it.
Like, it's kind of like Diane Downs. She's like, nope, I didn't do it. Some random guy on the side of the street did it.
And Arias.
And Jody Arias. Even after his 1989 extradition to Union County, New Jersey, finally faced with irrefutable evidence. That's hard to say. Including a fingerprint match with List's military records. So they took his fingerprint and he's like, yeah, you're List. Calm down. Stop calling yourself Bob. As well as evidence found at the crime scene, he confessed his true identity on February 16th of 1990. So it took him like 2 years.
He should have left like the country if he was really trying to.
I mean, he did a very good job. 18 years.
I mean, he did. I bet he thought he was scot-free.
Apparently. So we're going to start with the trial.
So he oh no, we'll get into
we're going to get into a lot of fun shit coming up. This is like my favorite part. So read number 8.
Number 9.
At trial, List testified that his financial difficulties reached crisis level in 1971 when he was laid off with the closure of the Jersey City Bank.
Oh, so the bank closed.
The bank closed, yeah.
To avoid sharing his humiliating, wow, that was hard, development with his family, List engaged in some routine and dress as when employed, leaving home each morning on his schedule and spending the day at job interviews or the Westfield train station, reading newspapers until it was time to come home. That's a long time.
So for like 8 hours a day, he would go out, like acting like he's still going to this job. Like, I'm just summing it up. And he would go to job interviews, read newspapers at the train station. He would just chill. Like, he was chilling until he could go back home.
Well, working. As the year progressed, the family's financial problems became more strained. List encouraged his children to seek part-time work. I don't know how to say that. Obviously to teach them maturity. I guess basically to teach them maturity and responsibility.
Yeah.
But in actuality to help keep the family financially solvent. Well, yeah, obviously. They don't know that, but...
So, according to his testimony, Helen had pressured List into marriage by falsely claiming that she was pregnant. We already learned that. Then insisted that they marry in Maryland, which did not require the premarital syphilis test mandated in most other states at the time.
So she tricked him into marrying him, but she was pregnant with someone else's kid?
She had syphilis.
Oh.
Though her health progressively deteriorated, she said nothing to List or her physicians until 1969, when a thorough examination revealed her condition. So she had syphilis. If you know what syphilis is, it pretty much deteriorates your whole brain, nervous system, shit like that.
I didn't know that.
So syphilis sucks. By then, progression of the disease combined with her excessive alcohol consumption, so she's an alcoholic, By then, progression of the disease combined with her excessive alcohol consumption had, according to a testimony, transformed her into an unkept and paranoid recluse who frequently and oftenly publicly humiliated List. So John was humiliated by his wife. Comparing his sexual prowess unfavorably with that of her first husband. So she was not sexually satiated?
Satisfied?
Sure, that works. The thing is...
she's psycho, so... I mean, I wouldn't say psycho, but she has like a disease.
Which makes you crazy in the end. So, but the thing is, also, I don't know if I wrote this in any future things, but she couldn't walk because of the disease. So she was seriously fucking, like she couldn't walk, she couldn't do shit. So she was kind of on her own. All right. A court-appointed psychiatrist testified that List suffered from obsessive-compulsive personality disorder and that he saw only two solutions to his situation. So he was poor, like he lost his job, he couldn't support it. So either accept welfare or kill his family and send their souls to heaven. There was only two options. Those are the options. But later I'm going to tell you a different option that would have been better. On April 12th of 1990, List was convicted to 5 counts of first-degree murder. At his sentencing.
Need me to read?
Sure. At his sentencing, he denied direct responsibility for his actions. I feel that because of my mental state at the time, I was unaccountable for what happened. I ask all affected by this for their forgiveness, understanding, and prayers.
I mean, they're not anyone else's family. They're his family.
It's his family. Well, in their direct like family too. So his wife's like parents and siblings, if she had any.
I mean, she probably had what, like
a
couple of years left, maybe. I mean, I'm not maybe not justifying what he did, but she also tricked him too, which is kind of fucked up. The judge was unpersuaded. John Emil List is without remorse and without honor, he said. After 18 years, 5 months, and 22 days, it is now time for the voices of Helen, Alma, Patricia, Frederick, and John F. List to rise from the grave. He imposed a sentence of 5 terms of life imprisonment to be served consecutively, the maximum permissible penalty at the time. So 5 terms of life imprisonment.
Yeah.
So 5 life sentences.
So he has no way of getting out.
Yeah, fuck no.
List files an appeal of his convictions on grounds that this judgment had been impaired by post-traumatic stress disorder due to his military service. He also argued that the letter he left behind at the crime scene, essentially his confession, was a confidential communication to his pastor and therefore inadmissible as evidence. So, yes and no. Okay, we have a dog wandering around. Take a shot.
Arrow, go, bud. I'm sorry, man. We're almost done. Go.
So, a federal appeals court rejected both arguments. So he's like, fuck off. No. Which I would do the same. List eventually expressed a degree of remorse for his crimes, saying, I wish I had never done what I did. Dumb. He told Connie Chung in 2002, I've regretted my actions and prayed for forgiveness ever since. When asked why he had not taken his own life, he said he believed that suicide would have prevented him from going to heaven, where he hoped to be reunited with his family. Read number 10.
What?
Read number 10.
Okay, he's psycho too then.
I mean, yeah, he had a lot
List
of shit.
died of complications from pneumonia, age 82. He lived a long time.
Yeah, he lived a long time. Not
On
like
March
his family.
21, 2008, while imprisoned at St. Francis Medical Center in Trenton, New Jersey. In reporting his death, the New Jersey Star-Ledger referred to him as the boogeyman of Westfield.
All right, so that is the story of John List. Now, I'm going to show you a better solution to the problem. John did not have to kill his family.
No one has to.
All right. Do you want to buckle up for this one? Because this is bonkers.
Okay, I'll buckle up loosely.
Got that like extender from like the flight.
2 extenders.
2 extenders. All right. So we're going to talk about their mansion. Breeze Knoll remained empty until it was destroyed by a fire in 1972, 9 months after the murders. So somebody, they allege, burned it down. Mm-hmm. Although the destruction was officially ruled arson, it remains unsolved with no suspects. Destroying along with the home was the ballroom's stained glass skylight, rumored to be a signed Tiffany original, worth at least $100,000. They could have sold it. Mm-hmm. Equivalent to $700,000 in 2022. So if they sold not a skylight, I think it was a chandelier. Mm-hmm. If they sold the chandelier, they would have been financially fine.
For a little bit, but
I mean,
he needs to get out of that house, though.
Anyway, a new house was built on the site after the arson. It was destroyed. It was demolished after that on 1974. So we're going to go into random facts. This just like closing out the thing. There was conspiracies around this thing, so it was amazing. In 1972, List was proposed as a suspect in D.B. Cooper air piracy case because of the timing of the disappearance, 2 weeks prior to the airline's hijacking. So do you know who D.B. Cooper is?
No.
D.B. Cooper is a guy who showed up on a flight from, I think, Portland to Seattle, and he hijacked a flight, asked for money. It was a thing. Maybe we should do that.
I heard of the name, but...
Maybe we should do that one, not what I already chose. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to do that one. multiple matches hijackers, description, and the reasoning that a fugitive accused of mass murder has nothing to lose. So List was questioned by FBI investigators after his capture, but he denied any involvement in the Cooper case. While his name is still occasionally mentioned in Cooper articles and documentaries, no direct evidence implicates him, and the FBI no longer considers him a suspect. But
yeah, because he didn't do that.
Maybe not. So we're not really 100% sure because that case is not solved.
So why are people talking about D.B. Cooper then if it's not solved?
Because they were assuming he did it because he had nothing left to lose. He has a military background. He has the flight issues. Like, we're going to get into next episode. I'm
confused why they're putting List as a guy on the plane when they have D.B. Cooper as a guy on the plane.
D.B. Cooper's a fake name.
Oh.
Yeah, so we don't know who it is. Like, we'll get into it next episode because that's what our topic is. So,
but they said the FBI said that he took the train. Don't they have to have evidence of that? Or they just said
but
it
the thing is he got into Denver, but then they kind of just was like, whatever. Like, they don't really know what he did because, he changed his name, so he was pretty much...
Where was his flight going to again?
From Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. Or Seattle to Portland. One of the two. I think it's like in that area.
Are any of those close to Denver?
Not really.
So then... But
that doesn't mean he still could have done it. I'm just saying... They were assuming it was him because this person had a reason, like he had a
nothing else to lose.
Yeah, he had nothing else to lose. He could just jump for the plane and be fine. But
never mind. We'll get into it when we get into it, I guess.
Yeah. So the next episode, we're changing the topic that I originally had. No longer Winchester, which will be eventually, but we're going to do D.B. Cooper. So that is the story of John List and his family.
Or List.
Bum, bum, bum. That was sad. John List, crazy dude.
Hi, bud.
Take a shot. We have a puppy.
He's so cute.
So let's get into it. I have to go pee really bad, so we're going to end this really quickly. So the next movie is called Only. It is on Amazon Prime, Vudu, and Redbox. So it looked really good. We're going to watch it. And the topic...
D.B. Cooper.
D.B. Cooper.
Look at that. I remember for once.
Because we literally just said it like 27 times.
No, 50 times.
So hopefully you found some solace in this story. It is very interesting. John List, you crazy bastard. Killing your family is not cool.
Definitely not the right option at all.
Definitely not the right option. You could have sold your
he could have sold, or he could have filed for bankruptcy. But
he didn't want to do that because he had
worried
pride.
he was worried about his like self-image, which is stupid.
But so really, we hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see our faces throughout this episode and every episode, definitely join Patreon. You can find it on our website at www.inforthenightpodcast.com. What else can you find on the website, Lur?
The stuff.
Merch.
Yeah. I'm having a brain fart right now.
So you can find our merch. And Patreon, definitely. Merch, definitely. And if you have any stories for us, definitely send them in. You can do it at the contact page. It's labeled something else, like get in touch or something stupid like that. So definitely click on that and it'll just automatically email us. You can do it there.
You said definitely 5 times.
Definitely. Definitely. I have to go pee. And so
continue.
I'm
just saying how many times you said it.
We hope we gave you a reason to stay in for the night.
And until next time, peeps, peace out.